Hey everyone. In our last module, we didn't spend any time learning about what citations were made up of, what are the different parts of it. You were just copying the format I provided for you. So now in this module, we're going to look through the most common kinds of APA citations and talk about what actually goes in them. So here's a sample citation we'll be working with. This is for a journal article. Now, if this particular sample has two authors, so we have authors by last name, first initial. If we have more than one author, in this case two authors, we use the and the second author by last name and first initial. So these are the two authors of the article, and you'll leave them in the order in which they appear. Even if they're not alphabetical, you just leave them the way they appear. First initial only, as a reminder. We will use the ampersand in the citation, and in the paragraph itself, and we'll talk about this later, if you were to introduce these authors, you would use and spelled out. APA has different rules from MLA in terms of using multiple authors. So if you have one or two, you list the names. If you have 3 to 7 authors, you list all of them. Continue to keep them by last name and first initials all the way through the list, and ampersand before the final name. Okay? So if you have more than 7 authors, you list first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have 3 dots, ellipses, recall these. This would be for all the missing authors. And then you would include the last author in the list. This is fairly common for research projects that are done by groups of people, and then they write up their findings. There could be a lot of people working on a team, and that's why you might have this happen. Next comes our date, right? You just put it in parentheses, the year. If there is a season like spring 2018, you would include that. Make sure they're in parens with a period afterwards. The article title itself should be what we call sentence case formatted. Sentence case means that the first word of the title is in uppercase, and all the rest of the words of the title are in lowercase, just like you would a sentence. You'll frequently see in scholarly articles a title that's separated by a colon. After the colon, we start again with a capital letter. So kind of look at it as if it's 2 sentences. If you see any errors in database citations, you need to correct them. This is what it should look like. If there are any proper nouns, names of people, places, organizations like NATO, for example, or NASA, those should be capitalized as well. And again, sometimes in the databases, you'll see those in APA in lowercase because you're putting it in sentence case, and the computer doesn't know that these are proper nouns. It just knows that everything's supposed to be lowercase, so you have to fix that as well. The journal title itself, that's the title of the journal that the article appeared in. And you'll see it's formatted a little differently. All of the important words are capitalized, and it's in italics with a comma at the end. Then you'll have a volume and issue number. Academic and trade publications are usually put out 4 times a year, and each year is a new volume. So it might be volume 3, issue 5, right? Maybe it's put out 5 times a year. Volume 14, issue 22, if they put it out a couple of times a month, that sort of thing. So what you'll see is, along with the title of the journal being in italics, you have the number of the volume in italics as well. Then the issue number, if it has one, it doesn't always include that, will be in parens with a comma afterwards. You almost always have the volume included, but you don't always have the issue. And finally, we have the page numbers, just at the end, page 5 to 13, with a period at the end. If your article comes from a database, most of ours are, that's what we're working with, you'll have two different kinds of links provided for you. You'll have a link that starts with this DOI, and sometimes it's in there twice. That DOI stands for, I think, Document Object Indicator. I forgot to look it up. But what we want to do, the only thing that matters to you is, it's very helpful for the reader of your essay to be able to click on the link and go to the article itself. By reader, I mean me, okay? So if you try to put your cursor right here and hit enter, nothing's going to happen because we have this DOI in front of the HTTP. So what I have to do is put a space. You see where I put a space here? So the DOI colon, then a space, and then you have a hyperlink, so when you are at the end and you hit enter, it'll make it clickable. Now, this only works occasionally with the DOI. Sometimes it'll take me directly to the article. Sometimes it will only take me to the journal itself. But go ahead and do it because most of the time I can get to where I need to go. The other kind of link you'll see is just one that goes to the database itself. And you'll often have the words retrieved from as part of the citation, like this sample here. And it'll start with the HTTP. You'll go to the end of it, hit enter, and then you'll get this wonderful clickable hyperlink, which is really helpful for me. That's it.